Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Michaela Peters. I just think my hair is looking crazier in every video because, like I said, it's like the baby hairs growing back from when all the hair falls out after you give birth. Cool. I really don't love this hairstyle though, but whatever. The humidity is out of control. It's like 100 degrees outside. I'm hiding inside with my air conditioning and being grateful I even have air conditioning because I'm not in Finland. One of the only good things I will ever say about being in the US versus Finland, it's not like I blast my air, but we have some air. Okay, so today I think I'm going to talk a little bit about my saga of what's going on with some of the stuff related to losing my family leave because of a layoff. Now, I think this is really interesting to discuss. Okay, I forgot to turn off the sound. Let's do that. Did I? I can't keep up with, like, I got a lot of messages from people I'm just ignoring right now, and it's, like, not on purpose. It's because, like, I've prioritized working. So basically, I'll get, like, a couple things done, which is, like, my bed made and, like, not toys all over the floor. Right now, there are a million dishes in the sink because I came home and forgot I didn't have a sponge. I am kind of, to myself, celebrating the fact that I'm not going on, like, pretty much any more trips indefinitely as it stands now, because I hate the whole process of, like, leaving the house and coming back to the house and feeling overwhelmed on both sides of that. So if you're just kind of continuously in the same place, it, like, alleviates some of that anxiety. And it's super hard and confusing to, like, make plans with people anyway as it is. I keep saying the executive functioning is just not there. Apparently, like, your brain just kind of loses mass because of the whole pregnancy thing, and it takes a while for it to come back. But again, I want to talk about, like, this family leave situation. So generally, when you have a child, you know, it's funny because in Europe, you could get a year off. I keep saying I say this a lot, my only regret in life. I have a lot of those. This is a taboo one to say, but, like, one of my regrets in life was not going on medication sooner. Like, I used to have really bad acne, and I waited till I was, like, 23 or 24 to go on Accutane. I wish I went on it when I was, like, 15 and still needed it. So stuff like that, I regret. You know, we could have solved some problems earlier. Everybody's like, big pharma, be natural. No, I don't care about that. Sorry, not me. Okay, but you know, like, one of the things right now with not having any coverage whatsoever is, like, I'm trying super hard not to, like, hurt myself. I really want to go on my friend's motorcycle, but we're gonna have to wait until after I have health insurance, if I'm even allowed to do that. But anyway, so what we're going to talk about now is the fact that in the US, you know, again, going back to what is the regret. The regret is that I did not I wish I was working in Europe and then got pregnant and then, you know, had a year off. But I'm going to be honest, this wasn't a situation I was expecting. So therefore, I did not think that far ahead. I thought I was going to have kids, like, at 35, to be honest, and in that event, I think I probably would have tried to transition over to a job in Europe, but obviously would have depended on my non-existent husband, whatever. Like, yeah, let's talk about all the theoreticals of life. But the thing that I start telling a lot of other women who are pregnant now is make sure you take all your FMLA at once, because your company cannot fire you legally in the US while you are in the middle of FMLA. You know, it was kind of like like, something just went off in my mind about, like, I wonder if the layoff happened around when I was taking my family leave, because I had already submitted some requests for family leave that were, like, later, and that's kind of evil, but I don't know, I'm not that important. It probably wasn't about me. Anyway, I used to say I was low man on the totem pole and there was no way I was going to get fired. Haha, good one. Okay, but anyway. So family leave, Family Medical Leave Act, like, corporations have to give them. And essentially, it's like 12 weeks, which is 3 months, which is ridiculous when you compare that to Europe. But it is what it is. It's America, okay? We're all for profit. So I also had the opportunity, and I almost wish I did not know this, because, you know, the only point at which I felt super overwhelmed with having a child was when I went back to work. I think I went back to work too soon. I went back to work when she was only 2 months old. Okay, that's, like, not okay. I mean, granted, she was watched by my family and stuff, and she was, like, fine, you know, or I like to think she's fine. She's currently being watched by my family. But yeah, it was just not a great situation. So, yeah. whatever. I wish I used the remaining, I had 7 weeks at that time then. Then I used 2 of these remaining 7 weeks to go to Italy in like March. And then I was going to use the rest of the remaining time to like go do something in the summer, like go be in Finland, which we will do that anyway. But okay, so in a way, it was kind of nice that like I got laid off and I was like on payroll and stuff, but it still makes me upset that I didn't get to use the rest of this family leave. Like, this is what is so frustrating. So, essentially, I still had 5 weeks left. So I was like, crap. Because when I called, you know, there's like a company that they kind of like contract out to that handles all of these medical leaves. And when I called them and I was like, hey, what's going on with this? They're like, well, it's an employer benefit. And since you've been terminated, like you are no longer able to utilize that employer benefit. And I was like, oh, lovely. Okay. So therefore I was like, well, let me file an FLI, which is family leave insurance, with the state of New Jersey, which would work like well. But the problem is the state of New Jersey still thinks I have a private plan because the state of New Jersey was still thinking that I was employed by my former employer. So then they sent me this like fancy letter, and there was a phone number here. And so I called this woman, and this woman no longer is doing her job. And I asked her a bunch of questions and was like, this is my situation. Can you give me any insight into what I might be able to do? And she did give me some insight. She said to call my former company's HR and to also call that contracted out company to ask about doing FLI instead of FMLA through the state of New Jersey where I live. So these are things that I need to do now. It's been incredibly frustrating because, like, you know, the thing I keep trying to explain to my family is it's a lot, like, I wouldn't say it's definitely not easier, but it is more guaranteed for me to use these stupid programs than it is right now for me to try to get a job when everybody's talking about how horrendous the job market is. I keep saying I'm not, like, asking anybody in my family for money, so I'm not, like, super clear on the whole, like, why is it so urgent that I need to get a job. I think it's nice that I get to spend more time with my baby and not have to pawn her off to my relatives as often. Don't get me wrong, I'm still pawning her off, like, right now, because on Wednesdays, I basically spend, like, the afternoon doing stuff for the startup. But yeah, so, and again, the startup is guaranteed to make money, but freaking sending out job applications these days is not, so that's why I'm not doing that. You know, maybe, I'm not saying, okay, to be clear, I am still applying for jobs, okay, like, the only thing is, it's like, it's throwing too many more, like, monkey wrenches into my life, because I feel like I had a lot of my life based around my previous job, and now, like, I don't know, it's like the devil you know versus the devil you don't. I don't know this devil that's coming up next for my new job, so I'm a little bit apprehensive. But yeah, so anyway, this is a whole saga at this point that I'm working on, and I guess I can keep you updated on what's happening, but essentially, it's been a giant epic fail for, like, trying to reclaim the family leave I never used, so again, one of my biggest regrets in life is not doing that. Unless I do find a way to reclaim this, then maybe I won't care. And I'm trying to be grateful for the fact that they basically pay you to leave a company. Like, that's kind of cool. You basically get paid to do nothing. So I should be grateful because I'm using the do nothing time to spend more time with my child and start a company that I actually, like, am passionate about. So, you know, I prayed for a change, and I guess the change was having time to do entrepreneuring and having time to do all this stupid paperwork that I hate doing. So that's basically what's going on right now, and I'm so happy I'm not going anywhere, because like I say, traveling is for employed people, not me. So, yeah, obviously I will go to Finland, because I live in Finland, kind of. So that's, you know, the next part of this journey, but for now, it's just, I hate doing this stuff. I think it's annoying and tedious, and I'm not a fan. So we'll see what happens if I'm able to get FLI, or I can't get FMLA. I'm no longer employed. But moral of the story, don't use all your FMLA at once. That'd be my advice to any working mothers in the U.S. All right, well, I need to go to the grocery store to buy a sponge so I can do my dishes, and I had, like, a bunch of ideas for videos this morning, and none of them are what I'm talking about. And I need to remember what they are. But anyway, I'm going to keep making videos now that I'm on more of a schedule. Until next time, bye.